You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Wepa, what up, gente? It's your boy, Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. Wepa, today, we have a return guest, people. That's right. This one was dope energy when he came in last time. He's a legend, skateboarding legend, a creative legend, entrepreneur, a big boss. He collaborated with everybody, making some dope fashion too. I mean, what does this guy not do? So the last time we had him here, he had done some stuff for Archie, but now he came back and said, Al, I did something crazy. I said, all right, what you got, kiddo? And we're going to talk about it today. This book is dropping real soon from Blood Moon Comics, and it's called CALAGUERRA. Let me introduce this amazing creator, the big boss himself, the one, the only Ruben Najera. What's up, homie?
Hey, Al, thank you for having me. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited, bro, because, I mean, if you guys just saw the back image, my God, right? I mean, that art looks fire. I'm interested. A name like CALAGUERRA, I actually have a Cuban friend. His last name is Cala. So I got to send him this. He's like, mira.
Yeah.
Is this you, bro? I would think he's the one with the bad feet, which we'll get into. Like, what the hell's going on there? All right, so how you been since last time, brother? How's life between you? It's always a pleasure to have you here, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just been busy. I've been working on this book for quite some time. I've been working out for like kind of after all the Archie stuff. I was already working on this, but it just kind of goes to show like how long the process takes sometimes. You know what I mean? Between conceptualization and writing the script and the story to getting it to your interior penciler artist, and then him getting it inked and then colored, and then the process is like it takes like an army sometimes to get some things made when you have a lot of people involved and everyone's handing it over to someone and knocking it out. So, but here we are, and we got a publisher, and Blood Moon is publishing it, and I'm really excited to have it coming out in the next few weeks. Yeah.
All right. So right after that, what you did right after the Archie besides this? Cause I seen you kind of like going around on the Insta. You were collaborating. You were doing stuff too, man. Like outside of this, and what made you finally be ready to put this baby out in that time?
Yeah. So like after Archie, I had some work writing a lot of scripts for M House Publishing. That was like Melinda's Comics. I did like a lot of writing for a lot of the stories. So that was a gig that I had at that time. But whilst that, I was writing my own original IP because I wanted to do my own story with my own superheroes. And it was an idea that I had that kind of roots back to when I was really, really young. Like I always thought it would be cool to have like a superhero team from like Mexico, because I grew up crossing from Mexicali to the United States, and like just being around it all the time and growing up, in Mexico as well, and having all the family there, and just all these like rooted ideas that I had.
Nice, brother, to be able to enjoy both your cultures, but like organically, it's one thing. Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican, but I can't just go from New York to Puerto Rico as a kid like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I have what I have here, but American influence. It's nice to vibe with those that are, I get it. That's awesome, kiddo. That must have been great. That must have influenced you a lot too.
Yeah. No, it's I mean the beginning of the story starts off in the New River, which is like it's one of the United States' most polluted rivers, and I happen to live like 12 minutes from it, right? And so like stories as a kid there, you'd hear about, and I've seen them in person, but I've heard stories of like on the side of Mexico, where there was like families who were like growing like mushroom spores or something like in their lungs from breathing in the water because it was so polluted. And then I remember kind of looking near the New River when I was a kid, when we'd be skating around that area, and like we saw like a frog with like an extra leg and like all these deformities, and it's like so toxic there that like you can like look it up.
But okay, but you kept going back to skate there.
No, so we weren't skating there, but the thing is like there was a 7 stair that was close to the border.
Oh, I bet.
Like it was like an abandoned building, and so like we used to skate there because it was abandoned, so like nobody cared if you were there. You know what I mean? There,
Yeah.
you know, like, it would always be like some like shady dude like sleeping in the corner inside like where the building was, and we'd be skating the stairs. But to cross to the stairs, like you have to like cross the bridge where the new river is, and like it smells awful. And like it wasn't until like later in life like I learned like how bad that river like really was, like how toxic it was. And like I did more research, and like I remember even back then, like I said earlier, like we saw a frog with like an extra leg, and I heard all these crazy stories. And like even when people cross the border from Mexico to the United States and they come through that river, the border patrol is like not allowed to touch them. Like they have to watch them. So whereas like someone could jump the border fence and they can like, you know, capture him and try to send him back, when they're crossing through the river, they're like not allowed to do anything.
Really?
This is like something that like I grew up around. And so as a kid growing up with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all that, you know what I mean? Like seeing this river and seeing like frogs with extra legs and people, I thought like, dude, like this is like real life, like mutagen ooze or something.
Yeah.
Toxic. And so the premise of like my story is like my main character, she gets her powers from something that happens to her, you know what I mean? That in the new river that yeah. So Calavera is the female lead, and like I don't want to spoil the story, but I could say the beginning part because it's not really spoiling. But essentially, like she's crossing into the United States illegally with her family, and something happens where the people that receive them on the other side, who take money to cross the people illegally, right? They're shady cats, and yeah, they do something to her family and her when they're short on cash, and they leave her for dead there in the new river. And the new river engulfs her, but instead of like dying there, she almost kind of like swamp things it. You know what I mean? Like she becomes one with it. So her abilities that she mutates to is she's like this half alive, half dead woman, where like she can descend and ascend out of the soil as long as there's dirt. She's kind of like Nightcrawler, you know, like he disappears and he appears as long as he can see in the distance. Same thing with her, but it's with the soil, it's with the dirt, you know. And I thought that was something cool that I've never seen done before. And it also like humbles her powers too, because like if she's like in cement area, she can't do anything. You know what I mean? She's screwed. Soil. So it makes it fun, and it gives these characters limitations, but like these real powers that like.
So outside of that power, okay, because if she's limited in the open where there's concrete, because unfortunately, yeah, you know, this is a concrete jungle we be living in.
Yeah,
especially in the U.S. So like, does she have like strength or anything extra that could help her, or is this strictly, you know, like fighting skill? And
I tried to leave her strictly like so she can be very vulnerable in that sense, but very powerful in her element, you know?
Gotcha.
And I kind of have that with a lot of my characters, where it's like, as you're reading the story, you don't feel like it's like Superman, where you're like, oh, well, he's going to live anyways. You know what I mean? Gotcha. He's so strong. Like with my characters, it's very real. It's like anyone could like get killed at any moment. You know what I mean? Like, so you feel like the fragileness of the characters, you know, like Ranino, he's like the frog boy that we were talking about with the big feet. And he's like, essentially he was born with deformities. And he sells like chicle in the border, you know what I mean? Like I kind of base him like on someone I remember like when I was younger that like I would always see was a kid that was like my age, and you'd see him like in the window, like when we're crossing and stuff. But his deformity is like he has like frog legs, right? Because he lives right by like the new rivers, by the canal. You know?
I see it. That's what I meant by the dude with the messed up feet. Like, what the heck is going on with his foot, son?
Yeah. And so the cool part is like in the story, he learns that like he's always known he can jump really high, right? Because of the way his deformity, he uses it to his benefit. But it's really cool because later on in the story, we start to see this cool scene where like everyone wants to go to the other side of the United States, and he realizes like, holy smokes, like I can actually jump over the fence. You know what I mean? And so you give this power to someone where they can go over the fence and come back as they please, you know? And you can see how like the villains or people would want to use that to their benefit in a different way. You know what I mean? So,
man, a super lobo, if you will, right? Is that what they call the people that transport, right? Lobos?
Yeah. So he would like, you know, the characters are very rooted in like reality, but also like ridiculous, like absurd kind of like, you know, like the powers are obviously not like realistic. You know what I mean? But it's kind of a mix of like real and you know, fiction and nonfiction. You know.
So Talk to us about the name though, Calaguerra. What is that?
So Calaguerra is a hybrid word. It's basically means like skeleton war, basically. You know what I mean? Like cala as in like, skull. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
yeah. And then guerra means war. So it's like a hybrid war. And so skeleton war is basically like it means like the organization that they're fighting, like it's they're fighting the war against evil, basically. And my three characters, like as they come across each other's paths in the story, they realize that like they're fighting a common enemy without even knowing it at first, and then realizing that like as they fight this common enemy, they get to a point in the story where they realize like, holy smokes, like we all actually work really good together, so like let's join, let's do something, let's make an impact. And so that's why it says like it's a story not just to save their country, but the world, you know what I mean? Because it actually goes beyond, you know what I mean? We start to get into some cool like mystical and mythological villains and stories, and it goes more than just like the border. It goes into like some cool like fantasies and lores and stuff like that, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride. And this 3-part mini series is just kind of like the launch to get you familiar with the characters.
Okay.
And just familiarize yourself.
Wait, is that a tease there? I think that's a tease. It's just a launch 3 years. Like, wait a minute, we're gonna get a whole. Is it true that we get in the Najeraverse? Wait, what's going on here?
Yeah. This is the beginning.
Oh,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, and not just that, but like there's a lot of creators, and I've been in this industry for a long time. Not just as like as a writer, I'm relatively like newer compared to others, but like in terms of like being in it, I mean, I owned a comic book store for almost 10 years now. You know what I mean? Nice. And prior to that, I was already doing some other stuff in the industry. So like I've seen a lot of creators who put books out and stuff, and they'll just put them out and then they'll do the next one, right?
Yeah.
That is not the case with this. So like anyone that's listening to this, I want them to understand that like this is the beginning of something that will go on like, the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like it's
these are first appearances here, folks. Don't mess around.
Yeah.
You gotta pick this up.
yeah. Kind of like how you have like Mark Silvestri and Witchblade, you know what I mean? Or like you know what I'm saying? Like
he just brought her back, with Sarah, and people are feeling he's done a great job apparently with the feeling of the new along a mix of the old. So pleased everybody. I haven't had the pleasure of reading it yet, but my reviewer Johnny, loved it, and he's an old school guy. Says okay, they respected it. I said, all right, cool. That's what matters to me.
Yeah. So this is like seriously, like every character you see here, they all have potential to get their own spin-off books too.
But this cover, dude, this cover.
This is Tahani Farr, and here's the other cool thing. My entire team that worked on this book. So Tahani Farr, she's in like Mexico City. That's where in the area that she's in. And then my interior artist El Cartoon, he's from
El Cartoon. Where did you get that name, El Cartoon?
Yeah, he's from Tijuana. And then Rizzo Chavez, he's the one that did the text, the lettering in the first issue. He's also from Mexico. So my team is like, you know what I mean? We are like legitimately from growing up or are in Mexico and across the United States. So like this book doesn't get really much more real than that, even in terms of our team, which is I haven't seen that done before. This is the first time I've ever seen a full-fledged team like that come together geographically in an area like that and put something out like this. And with the superhero team book too, So
I mean, shit, look at that. So how did you even find Tahani, for example? Because shit, man.
Yeah, so Tahani, I've always liked her art. She was doing stuff for like Stranger Comics, and most recently, like I think at the New York Comic Con, which you probably saw it, James Tynion had a book. It was called World Tree.
Yes.
And the exclusive for World Tree at the New York Comic Con, that was a Tahani Farr cover. So that was her cover. So she's like been really like doing some cool stuff. But I had this concept for a cover, and I pitched it to her, and I wanted to do this. Obviously, by looking at the cover, I was very like inspired by like you know, from Dusk Till Dawn, like the Quentin Tarantino or the old
Yeah,
movie.
baby. Shit. Bring it back. Salma, man. Come on now.
Yeah, that was my inspiration for it. Like I always loved how that looked, and me and Tahani had a conversation that, like, you know, that's kind of the direction I want to end. I want the cover of the book to look like it's like the cover of a movie poster. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which it is, because I've already had 2 production companies that were interested in like optioning. You know what I mean? But I didn't say yes to anybody. I'm kind of hearing things out because San Diego Comic Con hasn't even happened yet. But I've had some already, and believe me, I do want to see this as like a show or a movie someday. So, yeah,
bro. I mean, we need some Latino. You can bring me a kiddo.
Yeah.
Vamos a trabajar.
Let's get you on a scene. Yeah,
I said, come on, screaming wepa somewhere, then I get shot, right? Or murdered by her.
Nah, we'll find something cool.
I'm gonna make sure I'm on concrete at all times. You're scaring me now. I think about it more and more. Like, I live in Massachusetts. So there is a lot. Like, I have this backyard. You should go fuck me up from this backyard right now. I'm thinking, shit, yeah, and, you know, good. So yeah, that's another point. Does it have to be good soil, or so long as it's soil?
Just dirt. Just
dirt. So long as it's dirt.
You can ascend and descend. Yeah. So that's her, like, you're in her zone. You know what it's kind of like? It's like you're not gonna get bit by a great white shark on land. You know what I'm saying? But go in the water and test yourself some. You know what I mean? So like, when you're in her terrain, she's the boss. You know what I mean?
Now that you mentioned that, now how's her power on sand, or not effective at all?
As long as it's soil, she can go. She can ascend and descend. Yeah.
All right. That's good.
But you know, that's her limitation. It would be like like you said, the concrete jungle, or like Ranino. Like, obviously he's just a kid. So like, although he can jump really high, it's not like they couldn't like shoot him and that would be the end of him. You know what I mean? So that the characters have powers, but there's a fragility to them that's very real, that kind of puts you on the edge of your seat too. Like, anything could happen. You know what I mean? Like not everything will be
the right way to do superheroes. They're not all that super.
They're very rooted.
You know, they should be. It's like, yeah, they could have an ability, but they could still be mortal. I hate when, you know, comics nowadays, every effing superhero is immortal. No one dies.
Yeah, and these characters are definitely not immortal. And on top of that, they're very real in terms of like their emotions, what they're going through, their life. It's not all just crime fighting and stuff. There's a lot of real life stuff in the story that you'll find. And it could be like heartbreaking, emotional, happy, sad. You're going on a journey with these characters, you know, through time. So, and I guarantee you, people will, you know, end up falling in love with some of them. Like, oh, you're going to feel bad for them. You're going to really root for them as well. And in the future, I wouldn't doubt it if we see, like, to the point where people like the characters so much, we'll start seeing cosplay of some of the characters. You know what I mean?
I mean, look at the fits, man. Absolutely. You started something here. I'll tell you that much. Those fits are dope. Absolutely, somebody will. Especially being que son Latino, you know, it helps, you know, especially in areas like Sandy and whatnot in New York. I don't know about the middle of the country too much about us. That we don't exist too much.
We forgot the character on the far right of the book.
I forget. I was waiting for you to keep showing to what look like the two good guys, because this one looks like the badass.
He's actually the other good guy. His
name is the good guy. Okay.
Yeah, he goes by Obelisco, and he's a wrestler. He's a luchador, and but he's like a champion luchador that's like in his later stages, and so he's kind of paid now in the ring to be like what do you call him? Like the guy that gets paid to lose, even though he's still good enough to
a jobber.
Yes. So he takes the losses for the rent money to help his Theo out, his uncle, and that's kind of his story. But he is a strong man. Yeah. But they do him dirty and they do something to his uncle, and so that's how he gets involved. And the same people that did something to his uncle did something to Ranino and did something to Calavela, you know, the female lead. So it's like they all end up coming together, like, you know what I mean? They all got done dirty by the same villain organization.
But he's the one that is normal, if you will.
He is. He's just a strong man, but he is normal. Yeah.
Okay. All right. He's a strong dude. All right.
Strong dude. Yeah, he's just like massive. Like he's like think of like the biggest like WWE wrestler you could think
I'm
of.
thinking like Reacher.
Yeah.
Maybe like that.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big dude, but he doesn't have a
Reacher scared the shit out of me. Like I'll fight the dude, but I know I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you think about it,
It's one of those dudes. I know I'm gonna lose.
yeah. Some of those WWE wrestlers though, like really, like they really
I see Triple H in person. That motherfucker's like a rhino.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, yo,
Yeah.
bro, yeah, bro. I'm good, bro. What up?
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically this guy. He's just massive like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like a power. He's just
How much
massive.
food do you gotta eat for us to get like that? Because I think we're about the same in the slimness. I'll tell you that much. And how much we gotta eat to get like Triple H? But I mean, Triple H is like we still need another two of us.
Yeah. I think some of those guys, those WWE guys, it's way more than just working out. They're taking some other stuff too, probably.
Of course, nutrients, but then the new working out methods and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let's just see how wrestling is now going adult on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
But I thank God that Mae Young is no longer around, because I can't imagine her on Netflix with the stuff they were doing with her at the 90s, if you remember.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people. Man, there's a whole thing with that. Is they call it PED or what's it called? The it's not steroids. It's something else they were taking, right? That they were getting big, right? Yeah.
All
but
I don't do none of that stuff. All I do is smoke weed, and I don't think that's a muscle enhancer.
Because I was watching a documentary about that like recently. I think it was like the reason why like Barry Bonds isn't allowed in the Hall of Fame or something, because they're not counting his home runs or something like that. But
like what him and Mark McGuire did, not technically steroids, but what steroids with that spray shit or whatever, other things that was making them swole.
Yeah.
And getting that extra strength and their arms, and extra power. That's what comes out of it. People don't understand. You're a little bit stronger. It's a boost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's muscle cocaine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about like the them not counting them though, because like.
Well, yeah, they did it. I get it. For me, I feel bad about Pete Rose. Yeah, he gambled, but he still did what he did.
Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah.
He still accomplished a feat that has not been accomplished, and I don't think that none of these youngins are going to have the longevity, because everybody's so sensitive nowadays.
Yeah, I always forget about him too. Yeah, he has a whole nother thing. Yeah, no, they're not letting him in either.
No. They're going to wait till he passes, because I think they will not give him the
his flowers while he's alive.
Yeah, because they want to do. They're going to wait and then cry and sell merchandise and make money off of him. This is how you pay back the debt of your bets.
Yeah, that's wild.
Man. You're the man, brother. Now, this book was supposed to drop today, and sadly, it got moved up.
It did.
Look, folks, it don't matter what. All that means is now you have more time to make sure you go to your local comic shop right now. You know what I mean? And make sure you add this to your pull list. You don't regret it. And are you gonna it should definitely come out before Sandy, which is coming up. Will you be at San Diego? Will you be on hand signing copies?
Yeah, so at San Diego Comic Con, I'll be there all 4 days. So that's the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, so Thursday through Sunday. Yeah. And I'll be upstairs in Sales Pavilion. And hopefully I'll have these some copies already in hand of this book. And then, of course, I'll have like some of my other past work as well. But yeah, San Diego Comic Con's coming up. That's the big show for the West Coast. And I'm looking forward to that.
Are you doing anything at the show other than on the show floor? Any panels or anything?
Yeah, I so I'm working on a really cool shoot. You know what? There's a project I'm working on right now that I want to say.
You almost spilled the beans.
I'd like to say it, but I actually don't think I'm allowed to say, because it's like one of the probably the biggest property I've ever worked with. Okay. Yeah, it's like the biggest property I've ever worked with. Oh, cool. And like yeah, I guess I'll wait to see it at San Diego.
I'll wait. Yeah, don't you worry. I probably got a press release, and then you go, oh shit, yeah. He was talking about. Yeah, it's almost spilled it here, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's something that like I'm actually personally a fan of. So like, yeah, so it's at I maybe they'll announce it there. But yeah, like there's well, one thing about me is I absolutely like before I was even in the industry like that. Like I'm a big like collector myself in general. Like I'm genuinely like I would go to big shows, little shows. I just go to all the conventions when I could. And so like San Diego Comic Con for me too, like I like the exclusives. So like I'm right up in there in line like everyone else. And
My
like
brother was like, "You're not going on, man." He showed me one that I really do want. I wish
yeah.
I could have it. No one's gonna be able to get it for me. The only one I want,
Uh-huh.
Death's Head exclusive. They
Oh,
have
the
a
Marvel
Death's Head.
Legends.
I love Death's Head. The
Yeah.
OG. What? What?
Yeah, I
What?
saw that.
I need that shit in my life, but unfortunately, as an exclusive, no one's over there. I'm like, oh man,
Dude, if I
that's
can
the
get
one thing I really would want.
yeah. Dude, I'm gonna try to make that line. I'll hit you up if I have some success. I'm
Yo,
gonna
but
try to make that.
I'll throw you the flow real quick. Don't you worry, man. Oh shit! Wow, like, yo,
I'm gonna try to make that line. Yeah, I totally know which one that is, and you're so right. That's the cool one. That's the first Death's Head, not like the Death's Head 2 design
yeah.
they put out now. That's like the OG one, and it comes in this cool like trading card style.
Yeah, like the retro 90s in
Yeah.
that pose of in the retro 90s card, which I definitely have in a box over here somewhere. Because I have a box of cards that at least that's one thing mommy didn't throw out. When I went home finally, it was still in the basement. I said, "Oh my god, you didn't throw this out?
Nice.
What a fucking miracle!"
Yeah. Oh, dude, all my stuff got thrown out, man. I was so bummed. I had like
that's what mamas do, man. Esta porquería, in their words, garbage. You know what I mean? And you know, they don't know.
Dude, Al, I had like the original Ninja Turtle like figures, like the first editions with the squishy heads, you know, like the 1980s ones. Like I had some cool stuff, dude, and it's all gone. But
you should have seen my Joe collection. Insane. They even had the double helicopter.
Yeah.
And cool vehicles, everything. I'm slowly trying to get back some of my older vehicles. So I definitely got back my His Tank.
Oh, nice.
Original Cobra Ferret, Cobra Fang.
Nice.
I'm a Cobra guy. The
yeah, me too.
OGs.
Yeah.
OGs. And then I also kept my old figures. The only new ones I bought was a No Hide OG.
Yeah.
And the other one, War Pig, right?
Yeah, War Pig, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only two Dreadnoughts I didn't have for my originals. Those are the ones I took with me. Then my brothers always say, "Why you took the Dreadnoughts? Those are the cool ones." I said, "Fuck you, because exactly those are the cool ones. Those are mine for life."
Yeah. You know which one I love? I love the Range Viper figure that Classified put out. And I had the original Range Viper back then, so I love that figure. And the one that I'm looking forward to is for Hasbro to put out a Desert Scorpion figure. I've always loved the look of the Desert Scorpion figure.
Ooh.
And I'm waiting for that one. That one's going to be awesome.
Now I'm happy with what dropped recently with the Norhide, the Torch. I gotta get those too because I always put the OG in front of the Classified. And it's so stupid of you guys over there, Classified. You gave us boxes with no windows, and all of a sudden the windows are back. Like,
I know.
This is up to look, man.
Have you seen what people were doing with the non-window packaging? Like, they'd be like returning those things, Al, with like pieces of like, dude, like rocks in them, or like they'd be putting like some other like figures in them that had nothing to do with G.I. Joe, and then they'd still get the refunds back. They're just like literally just jacking them. You know, it was crazy. Like the non-window thing was dumb.
Yeah, so they learned their lesson, I guess.
Yeah.
Although they do the Switch figures, and because the cash registers the people, they don't know.
Yeah. No, that's wild. Yeah, that it's a tricky. Window packaging is very important.
Yeah, I agree.
Very important. Yeah, I knew I knew a guy who, when I used to like silkscreen skateboards many years ago, and I knew a guy who used to, and I was really young, and what I remember seeing him do this, I was like, dude, that is so wrong. But he would do it anyways because he would make money from it. And I remember there was this guy that worked there, and he would take Nintendo 64 games, and this is how old that is. And he would take the game, and then he would weigh a wood chip the same weight as the thing. He would put it in the spot, and then he would, because they printed skateboard decks, so they have shrink wrap machines, right?
Okay.
Then he would put the wood chip in where the cartridge was, put it back in, keep the game, and then he would shrink wrap the box. So the box looked pristine, brand new, right?
Oh
And
my
then he
God.
would go and he would return the thing. So then someone somewhere would buy the game later at like a Walmart or something, open it up and find wood. It was so messed up, dude. And I was like, dude, I don't trust nothing no more. Like, yeah, I gotta like open that thing when you get it, like, and this is real. Like, this is like really happening. And like, I've seen like some forums like on Facebook and stuff like that, where like it's literally just images of people like going to stores and seeing like horrible figure swaps on like the toy aisle, like ridiculous thing like McDonald's toys or like it's so crazy, dude. It's so crazy.
I
And
don't
like
know how they get away with it. It was my
I
don't know how they do it. I go buy my figures. I'm good. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. I look for deals too. You go to the right places, you find deals. So
Yeah.
I still need the twins. I needed the Crimson Twin classifieds because I got the OGs.
Oh, they had those for pretty cheap at like Ross for a bit.
Yeah, I know. I was like, there's one around here somewhere. I'm on vacation next week, so I'm gonna go Ross hunting.
Yeah, I think they're like $5.99 a piece or something.
Fuck yeah, that's perfect. Fuck yeah, for those two guys, why not? Dig it. But brother, man, this book is dropping. You're touring, you're doing your thing. But is SEC the only con you're gonna do this year?
Pretty well, that I have on my calendar right now. Yes, but I will probably also do LA Comic Con in October. And then I do have a few limited signings for CALAGUERRA coming in August, September. One of them that I know that is confirmed is going to be at Graham Cracker Comics in Marietta. And that one's going to be me and El Cartoon doing a signing there for the book. And that's in August. That one will be in August. And I'll have a date for that posted on my social media and stuff too. So
let us know so we can share too on Comic Crusaders with our Crusader family.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I have that signing coming up, and then there's a few other stores. Like the goal was to get a signing like that, like in the Riverside area, a signing in San Diego, one in LA, one in Orange County.
If you do Riverside, let me know because I have a fellow Crusader out there, David Howard, Nemesis.
Yeah,
me swing by and give you an on-site interview and take some pictures.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, actually, Murrietta's like pretty much there. Yeah,
let me know, man. I'll let him know to swing by.
Yeah. So we're gonna be doing that for the book, and also I think you showed it earlier, but the book has 3 different covers. There's the regular cover, and then there's a virgin cover with no text, and that is 1 in 7.
Yep. Wait, that one right here with no text. This is gorgeous, dude.
Yeah. So that's to appreciate the art in its full glory, and every 7 copies that a store orders, they'll get one of those. And then this is the rarest one, which is the 1 in 10, which will have a gold title. And it looks gold like flat here, but in person it'll be like gold shiny, like spot foil,
Oh, dope.
On the text.
I hadn't realized.
Yeah, and it'll be a 1 in 10 ratio cover.
Yeah, bringing back old school for real, man. I like that. Actually, it looks really good now that I really notice it. And then goes the regular cover.
Regular be white with the white text. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
So yeah.
Look, it's beautiful. And before we go, this is my last question. Blood Moon Comics, also an independent publisher. Make sure to check them out. This is where this book has come from. Like, how do you connect with Blood Moon? And why did you choose them to be the home for CALAGUERRA?
Yeah. So when I had done the book, so that in the industry, it's a lot more difficult to get, work as a writer than an artist. And the way I'll explain this is like if you have 3 pieces of art, you can show the 3 pieces of art, and the publisher, the person hiring you, they'll be like, "Oh, you're really good," just really quick off the bat because they can see the art with their eyes in front of them. But imagine handing someone like a 24-page script. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, "Dude, I'm not going to read this right now." You know what I mean? And if like 10 people handed them, then they're really not going to read them. You know what I mean? So you either have your elevator pitch and really grab them from that, but most likely not. So the way I do things is I construct my team and I bet on myself and I invest in myself and I get the thing done completely on my own.
Oh, wow.
So it all comes out of my pocket to make it. And then once I made it, then I pitch to publishers. You know what I mean? And so when the publisher gets it, so when the publisher gets it, like I walked the walk. I didn't just talk the talk. You know what I mean? So like I hand them something, they look at it like, holy shit, this is done. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can just put your logo and we're good to go, basically. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, this is so good, you should publish it. It's like, no, look, check it out. Here it is. You can see it for yourself with your own eyes. It's awesome. Let me know. And so I had a couple offers from a couple publishers. By doing that, I made copies that we like dispersed to a couple publishers. But Blood Moon made the most fair offer. They were really on front, great communication, and yeah, we went with Blood Moon on this, you know. And I'm really stoked to be working with them on this book, and we're gonna do all 3 issues with them, and then after those 3 issues are done, I'd like to see about getting like a hardcover or a trade paperback of the 3 compiled. You know what I mean? So anyone.
How many pages are these babies?
So the first issue difference from the second one. The first issue is, I think, like at 28 pages or something like that, and then the second issue is more like in the 22 range.
Okay.
So the third issue will be kind of like in the 22 range too. Okay. You know what I mean? So the price of the second issue and the third issue will cost less than the first issue. So the first issue is like a kind of sort of a giant size version, you know what I mean? Like a gianter size, right? Yeah, so it's a thicker book. And I will note too, on the ratio covers on one, the regular issue is like the regular comic book, how you would see it. But the 1 in 7 and the 1 in 10, they have a beautiful cardstock cover, like just gorgeous cardstock cover. So it's a higher quality on the higher ratios. Yeah.
But I mean, get them all, folks. Get them all. Look at those. Fuck yeah, bro. And this one, you definitely got to frame up. That's
that one's perfect to have like Tahani sign. Which, by the way, she's going to be at San Diego Comic Con. So if anyone,
awesome.
And I think she does New York too. I think she does New York every year. So she does.
I'll be at NY for sure. When you coming down to the East Coast, brother?
Yeah. So, I want to. I definitely, that is something without question that I want to do. When I go there, we definitely got to link up.
Oh yeah, we definitely will, bro. You know, maybe I'll pull out a skateboard and maybe we could, bust our ass together somewhere in the park.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'll skate with you. Yeah, heck yeah, man. You got it.
We definitely got to record that. I'll make a bust his ass live with Ruben.
So we just cruise. We don't even have to do nothing crazy. I just love nowadays, honestly, I'm so appreciative that like I obviously can't do what I used to do on the board, but like I appreciate so much just being able to just ride. I just love it so much. You know what I mean? And as long as I can continue to just ride, I mean, shoot, I'm going to go skate later today, for exercise, and I just love it, man. Like it without it, sometimes I don't feel complete. Like it kind of like exerts energy. You know what I mean?
It's a peace, man. You find peace.
Exactly. And you know what it is? Because like you have your daily worries and the things that are going on in your life that you're worried about, anxieties or stressors and things like that. And like they really eat at you. But like the second like I'm on the board, the people will say like, oh, it's dangerous or you can get hurt. But check it. The fact that there's a possibility for you have to be focused so that you don't get hurt, so that you're alert, so that you're paying attention. People don't realize that when you're skating, you're focusing on those things about not getting hurt and like, you know what I mean, landing tricks or just having fun and cruising and getting exercise. That stuff puts your mind in a different place. So therefore, that's where the therapy comes from it, because you're not thinking about all the negative stuff anymore. And for that hour or that 2 hours that you're skateboarding, you're sweating it out. You're literally sweating it out. You know what I mean? Like you're focused on that. Nothing else matters. You know what I mean? And like very few things I feel do that for me. You know what I mean? Like, so skateboarding is a lifesaver in a lot of ways, you know?
There you go. See, great. That's you found a way to help yourself when you go through that mental health or when you think sometimes. So great. You have an outlet. Like you see, that's all we ever all need. Or everybody, guys, and gals. Find that outlet that brings some peace, and you're definitely gonna feel a whole lot better afterwards. I'm sure you do. After that skate, and you're coming home dripping like, oh shit.
Yeah. It definitely helps. I come back better than I was before. You know what I mean? Because we go through a lot of things in life in general. Just hit us with stuff. So. That's like my escape a lot of times, just go out and skate. Even though I'm not trying to as crazy stuff as I used to, it doesn't really matter. Like I'm still out skating and still learning all the time. I'm still learning all the time. That's something is like, I'm still learning, or sometimes I'll try things that I used to be really good at and I'm just trying them just so it's like that saying, like, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I try to like kind of keep some things like in the distance, like, okay, I could still sort of do it. Thank goodness.
Last time I was on the board, I busted my ass because my brother jinxed me. The moment I got on it, and I pumped it, man. I got on it. He goes, "Oh, Al, you could skate." The moment he finished the word skate, dude.
Yeah.
I hit a bump.
Yeah.
I felt like Jesus.
Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Man. Yeah. So he jinxed you right when you got on.
Yeah, for real, bro.
Yeah.
You mother, he was just laughing. So my ex was there too. They were just laughing at me. And of course, I'm there like, yo, instead of checking on me, you laughing. I'm an old man.
Shoot. Well, I mean, look, you could always was it a cruiser board or was it a street board that you were on?
Street board.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I left the great cruiser board, man, and back home.
Oh.
And that's like it was a long board.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I do have a street board, but I got bigger wheels on it now, so it's more cruisy on purpose. Like I don't really need to I don't know. I just want to glide, Al. You know? Yeah.
I get you, man. We're frail now. We're getting older, folks.
Yeah, and I just like the feeling of riding. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to lose that. So
you're making me all. I gotta fucking get up a board, and I'm gonna. If you come to New York, I'm gonna stay with the board for the Najera ride in New York.
Yeah, we just cruise, man. We don't got nothing crazy.
We're gonna cruise on the convention floor. Actually, that's what's gonna happen.
Okay, we do that. I'm down. Yeah,
we have some fun. Yeah. All right, folks. This is the man right here. So this is what you got to do. You know, stay tuned on everything he got popping over at RubenNajera.com. The links are below. I make everything easier, right? Follow my man Ruben on the socials. Actually, you can follow my Ruben Najera. Facebook is Ruben Najera Jr. And of course, on Instagram is Ruben Najera. And most importantly, folks, go to your shops now. All right, it's coming. CALAGUERRA #1 from Blood Moon Comics, baby. So go to your favorite LCS. You know, put that joint right on your list right now. All right, I know I'm definitely am because I'm interested for sure. So my Wonderland Comics, that's my local shop. I'm definitely adding this to the list because I'm awesome. Support me, gente también. So you don't disappoint, man. You do good work.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, again, thank you, brother. I appreciate your time on the show today, hanging out with me and talking about the greatness of CALAGUERRA from Black Moon right there. So everybody, you know what it is. I mean, Black Moon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, you know what it is. Stay tuned to everything Comic Crusaders, Comic Crusaders podcast. Check out the website, comiccrusaders.shop. All right. Much love. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. ¡Huepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.